Hey, sports enthusiasts! You've just stepped into the ultimate podcast for all things in youth sports. After the Game is where we break down the game within the game, from coaching strategies to the role of parents and the secrets behind running a top-tier program. Expect insightful conversations, expert tips, and a whole lot of sports banter. Whether you're a coach, a parent, or a player chasing dreams, this is your go-to spot. So fasten your seatbelts. Here are your hosts, Ryan and Chad. Let's dive into the action.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Episode 3, Season 2 of After the Game podcast. Tonight we have with us Mason Kofoid. Mason is an unstoppable force, both on and off the ice, embodying resilience and determination in every aspect of his life. At nearly 17, he has already made waves in the world of sled hockey, leading the Wisconsin Skeeters to a national championship victory this past spring, while dominating as the team's top scorer in both goals and assists from his position on defense. His passion for sled hockey began at age 8, when, despite initial fears, he took a brave push onto the ice and found a sport he would come to love. Today, Mason shares that passion by mentoring young athletes as a leader on the NEW Yeti, a team he helped start in the Green Bay area to give local kids their own shot at the sport. Born with a rare congenital condition known as PFFD, Mason has faced more challenges in his young life than most could imagine. With no left femur and multiple failed surgeries, he spent years battling setbacks and enduring 17 operations, including a final amputation that allowed him to regain mobility and confidence with a robotic prosthesis. His journey from walking at 18 months to navigating hospital stays, surgeries, and ultimately returning to the ice is a testament of his unwavering spirit. Academically, Mason shines just as brightly. He is currently ranked number 12 out of 140 students in his class and has taken multiple advanced classes along with college courses since his sophomore year. When he's not excelling in sports or studies, you'll find him working at True Value, where he eagerly takes on all roles or enjoying his hobbies like lifting weights, fishing, hunting, and playing basketball with friends. His inspiring story is one of overcoming adversity, relentless perseverance, and giving back to the community through his love for the game. Mason, how are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty great. How about yourself?
Not too bad, man. I bet you're feeling really good after I read that, huh?
You really made me sound really good.
Well, it's deserved. Well deserved. So let's talk about your early days and your passion for sled hockey. So take us back to that, that time when you were 8. What helped you overcome your initial fears and dive into the sport? And, sled hockey seems like it's so challenging. It very physically, it would, I don't know personally too much about it, but from what I was reading up on it, it does look quite challenging. So what kept you coming back to that as well? And when did you realize it was something you truly loved? So we'll start with that. Walk me back into age 8.
So first, when Coach Tim told me about it, wasn't really about it at all. I mean, I knew my mom was going to push me into it anyways, no matter what what I thought about it. And then next thing I know, I'm at practice and I'm skating around on the ice with the guy who's a former Paralympian, and he won the first ever gold medal that there was for sled hockey in the Olympics for Team USA. So I was like, all right, he looks pretty good. And there's actually a video of me going like this, right? Didn't know if I liked it or not, and I was kind of trying to decide. And then kept coming back to practice and just kept seeing how people were so good at the sport. And we made our way up to, I believe, Madison, and just about to go on the ice. And then the horn goes off, the doors open, they're throwing pucks on the ice. There's loud noises everywhere. And I hated it. And I wanted to get off. So I pushed myself back off of the little bump there. And then my mom looked at me and I felt bad. So she pushed me back on, and I was like, well, she's forced me to do this. I got no way out of this. So first, I really did not like it at all. I'm not going to lie. played the first game, and I'm going against like back then you could go against guys who were like, well, I was only 8, so I could go against guys that were like 20 or something. Now there's regulation where you could go against, youth and everything. But those big guys just really scared me, and but I saw how good they were, and it made me want to keep coming back. So after the first game, it was just kind of smooth sailing.
So that was the moment for you that really did you in, that you're like, this is it. I love this. So that is your favorite sport then, sled hockey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So who's your favorite NHL player?
I don't even follow NHL like you'd think, but I mean, I'd say Bedard.
Okay. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So national championship victory and roll with the Wisconsin Skeeters. Let's talk about that. So what's that? How do you prepare yourself mentally and physically to perform at that such a high level?
Yeah, so kind of going into that tournament in Philly was definitely it was an experience because we just felt so good that I mean, this past year we felt really good about how we were doing, and then the fact that we were going into nationals and we saw the teams we were going to be that are in our division, and we're like, okay, we go from all right, it might be because last year we kind of had a really rough. We lost all games, and by I think we only scored 1 goal the entire weekend against like 40 or something like that. So going into this one, when we saw teams that are actually at our level, where we thought we're gonna have to fight for this one, and we're gonna have to earn this. And the first game definitely was really hard to get my head around that I was going into my first like real chance at a national championship, because I've gone to nationals before, but this time I felt really confident and everything just felt right. And then, I mean, again, it was smooth sailing throughout the tournament and just regular open play. And then once we got to, the medal game, and we were undefeated at the time, and we happened to kick butt going into the game, everything felt right. I mean, we had every single, I'm pretty sure every single goal we had was assisted. There was no unassisted goals. That's how it just everything felt right, because teammates were hitting each other up and got her done.
Yeah, what felt like perfect communication amongst all your teammates. Everyone had the same vision. The goals were aligned. There was no one out there who was like, what would you say, the showboat that's like, it's all about for me. He was all about the we, not the me.
It was, yeah,
and that's real teamwork, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're what an incredible achievement. I mean, what were some of the more memorable moments from that season?
I'd have to say I got a pretty sweet drop pass. I happened to skate up to the net, and that's one thing that really stands out to me, I guess.
Can I just say I don't know what that is? So could you walk me through that? What is that? What's a drop pass?
I was going towards the net first, and I had a teammate behind me. Yeah. And instead of taking the shot myself, I hit the puck back to my teammate, which fooled the goalie. Got the goalie over to one side.
Okay.
And, I mean, she got the goal on the other. It was perfect. That's probably the best assist or play that I've ever accomplished, just because there was no hiccups, no nothing. It just worked so well.
Well, that's a pretty good memory to have about it.
Yeah.
And you said she, so it's co-ed?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So what is that like, having a co-ed hockey team like that, for you? Is there ever any challenges with that, within the team?
No, I mean, at least for my team, I'd say it probably goes throughout the entire sport. We all kind of get along no matter what the gender or what. I mean, we're all still getting assists to each other, and it hasn't really affected anybody, I don't think.
Okay. Well, I mean, they look to you as a the mentor, really. So, which I wanted to ask you about that. So you founding the NEW Yeti, and you're big on mentorship. So you've started the Yeti team in Green Bay, which has given local kids a chance to play sled hockey. What motivated you to create this opportunity for others?
So I just remembered back to when I had to look up to someone to be my guy to get back into or to get into the sport, because
Mhm.
I alone I didn't think I was just going to get into it. And then when Coach Brad with Team USA came up with the idea that, we're going to get a team up here so kids don't have to go, so far for another team.
Yeah.
I thought that's, a great opportunity. And when I first got out there on the ice and I see all these kids I've never met before, and it just, gave them a great opportunity, just puts a smile on your face, and they
I
love
like
it.
that. It just puts a smile on your face. No, that's huge. I mean, when you're someone, no matter the age, and you're helping others, there is a lot of gratification out of helping others, and
Mhm.
that's a real testament to your character, and how your parents raised you. They obviously raised you to be a good young man and an upstanding citizen, and wants to do good for others. That's a beautiful thing, my guy. So
Thank you.
so actually you kind of pretty much just answered that one, but so let's talk about the if you don't mind, I want to switch gears a little bit into the medical side of things in
Mhm.
that journey for you. So the challenges with PFFD and you're having an amputation. So you faced a lot of adversity with that and multiple surgeries. Can you tell us about some of the toughest moments during that journey and how you found the strength to push through? Because I know how I'd feel.
Yeah. A lot of it was my parents. I remember them being at my hospital bed quite
Mhm.
a bit, sitting there with me, holding my hand. I mean, through all the drawing blood, X-rays. I mean, there was a lot of times where they'd have to go in, they'd cover themselves, with the metal or the thing in X-rays, and they'd hold my hand on the side, or they do whatever they need. They were kind of always there for me. Um, yeah, I mean, they're really the ones who did it for me. I can't really say much about anyone else. They just kind of having them by my side really helped me throughout. Even to this past one when I was 12 or at 12 for my last surgery when I amputated my foot. I mean, they kind of played a big part of just helping me out and, well, keeping me on my foot.
I think for a moment there, I thought you were going to say keeping you on your toes. So what I'm getting from that is, your family, you get your strength through your family, through
Mhm.
your parents. And how many siblings do you have?
I have two sisters. They're twins. They're 24 now.
Oh my. Oh boy. And you're the little brother, so they're, of course, they're going to be protective of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I've got 5 siblings myself. Um, yeah, and I have a brother that is 17, and
Oh,
I'm
wow.
39. Yeah, so wide array. But a
Mhm.
cool thing about that is I get to know like what's cool. I'll
Yeah.
ask my young brothers like, "Hey, what's cool now? Are
Yeah.
these words cool or are they not cool? What does no cap mean?" So yeah, that's how I I don't even know if they say that, keep it real, I guess. Keep it
Yeah.
100. I think they say that. Keep it
Yeah.
100. Yeah. So so but now after your amputation and you started with a robotic prosthesis, did anything surprise you about the journey to regain mobility and your confidence? And what was that transition like?
After I got the robotic leg, it kind of seemed all silly, everything that happened before, but I got over that and I kind of realized like it had to happen to get me where I was. It just it kind of didn't make sense for me to go through 16 surgeries just to have one that could have happened way long ago, but I understand now, all that had to happen for a reason and kind of get me where I am now. And then, once I got over that fact, it got to the part where I had to learn how to, walk kind of in a straight line, just like
Wow.
everyone else.
Yeah. So what was that learning process like? I mean, how, was that you wake up in the morning, the first thing you're doing, I would imagine there's some sort of uh, training regiment that you had to follow that was meant to, get your body in line or something that, what was that like?
So was a couple months or I can't remember how long. I think it was a couple months after I amputated my foot. We had to go back to the hospital, stayed a week, and it would be I think it was every morning and then afternoon. They'd, here's a leg. They're going to show you how to put it on. And then the first day it's baby steps. You're not even using, because the knee on itself will kind of bend for you. But, the first day I can't quite do that because I don't know how to use it as good as I do now. So I kind of was just plopping one foot, just kind of doing what I was before. And it got to the point where the next day they were trying to teach me how to go downstairs, which, I can go downstairs quite easily now. And then after that, they got me, walking in the parallel bars with actually trying to take steps, and just kind of there was a week straight and it just kind of kept going up each day. And then after that, I'd come home and I'd have the leg and I think I was on crutches. And then during school, I think it was every Monday or Wednesday, one of those days, we'd have a physical therapist come in, basically do the same thing. They put the gait belt around me and just have me walk around and just basically test myself.
Yeah. So did it ever feel, I don't know, did it feel strange or awkward to you? And because I would imagine everybody's watching you to watch your movement, your gait, take note of things, and you're just, you kind of feel like everyone's just watching me walk. This is strange.
Yeah. It was definitely a lot different. So, people were looking at it and they're like, it's different, and he's going to have to build off of that. And, it's going to be for the better, basically.
Yeah.
It's just going to make me walk straighter. Because before I'd kind of take a step with this leg and the other leg would swing around. Whereas this time I can just keep my way straight.
So the leg, is that something that you obviously, I would assume you don't sleep with that. That's something you put on in the morning.
Yeah.
Take it off at night before bed.
Yep.
Gotcha. And how has that impacted your playtime? Your when I say playtime, I mean ice time.
I haven't. So starting with the robotic leg, when I actually got robotic, that's when I started taking my leg off on the ice, or just before I got on the ice. Yeah. Whereas before I kept my leg on, and it was kind of already protected because prosthetic kept it. It had a hard cover on it. Oh. But so I started taking my leg off once I got the robotic leg, and I basically got another mold of my leg done where it just kind of shelled. It's the same thing, except it was a material that would, if a puck hits it, it's not going to hurt me. But yeah, I pop it off before I basically, what I'll do is I'll either pop it off in the locker room and hop over to the doors and then, get in my sled and then hop on the ice, or I'll pop it off when I get to the doors, leave it there, or sometimes I get on by the bench and I leave it on the bench, whatever's convenient for the rink rat.
Is that okay? I'm sorry, but it just made me think of something. You've never had an issue where you misplaced it, have you? You've always
yeah.
You know what I mean? You're a young man. Where you're like, oh no, where'd that go? Oh boy.
Yeah, no, not that I remember. I could think of my my friends. Yeah, I can think of. I was a manager for our high school football team, and my freshman year, we were just messing around. I went to go kick a field goal, and leg went off, and the ball stayed where it was.
Oh no!
And then a friend scooped it up and.
Oh my goodness! You're like, oh, I'm sure everyone who was watching that was like, what just happened?
There's a picture of it somewhere. My friend's holding like a guitar, and I'm just standing there.
Yeah. All right. thank you for that.
Yeah.
I'm literally visualizing that right now. And yeah, I would be like, oh my gosh, what just happened to that young man's leg?
Yeah. I mean,
So, so let's talk about your academics. All right. So you're obviously you're excelling uh, very well in that. You're already taking college courses. Obviously, that shows a lot of ambition there. So you're ranked number 12 in your class. You have already taken the college courses. How do you balance such a challenging academic load with all your athletic and personal commitments?
to me, it's kind of just get my work done in class, using my time wisely.
Mm-hmm.
We say it all the time, and I just kind of listen to that because, if I use it there, then I got more free time to work on, hockey, whatever else I need.
I'm going to back up there. The thing that really stuck out to me is when you said, "Get my work done in class. Use my time wisely." That right there. I think you should turn to everyone in your class and tell them to do the same thing, and then they can go for the number 12 in their class as well.
Yeah.
So is that where does that stem from? Where do you get that that drive and that motivation to, and the know-it-all, or the wherewithal, I should say, rather, to utilize your time wisely? Because those are words I don't hear a lot of high schoolers say.
Yeah, it all comes from my sisters because they were top of their class throughout throughout their years. So kind of have to compete with them.
Okay, so it goes back to family.
Yeah.
You get your strength from your family,
Yeah.
whether it's in your academics and stuff. So I would say that another benefit for you is competition. Whether it's on the ice or in the classroom, having some sort of competition, whether you're competing with somebody in your class, or the fact that knowing that your sisters did so well, and you don't want to feel left behind. You want to make sure that you're on par with, that level of achievement, which
Yep.
is that's good. Shows self-drive and determination.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. You should be proud of that, man. So do you have any goals or aspirations for your future studies, or, what career path are you exploring, post high school?
Yeah. Again, this kind of comes from my sisters. They're both for business majors, and that's definitely something I just kind of heard and I looked at, and I was like, that sounds awesome. I
Okay.
feel like I'm doing that myself, especially like sports business.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that does sound interesting. So are your thoughts in something the line of like aspiring to be in the front office, or dealing with sports merchandise or something to that effect?
Front office would definitely be something sweet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm
No.
sure it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you've made it.
Yeah. But
So let's talk about outside the school. So you're actively involved, a True Value. I actually like shopping there too. You take on various roles there. How is working in a hands-on job added to your perspective on life and responsibility, especially, given the fact of everything that you've endured, physically?
right. Working at True Value has taught me a lot about, well, first, like how to be a good person in general, and then, how to fix stuff too. I've learned to fix so many things there. I mean, even friendships, I'd say too. Yeah, it's just between my coworkers and all the people I meet day to day, they always come up with, the same questions, the new ones. They're always like, what happened? And then I say, I was born this way, it's just kind of what happened. And then it's always, well, you get around well. And I was like, I hope so, because it kind of took me a long time. And then, I've never had any issues, I'd say. It's just kind of, I've learned that if you kind of, stay in your lane, you kind of do your thing and you be kind to others, it's just going to turn out well for you.
I strongly agree with that. I actually live by the same mantra that, treat people well, and you should be treated well in return.
Mhm.
I totally agree with that. Now, the other thing I like about that is what you said was you became more self-sufficient. So, you're able to take care of, manual labor around the house, fixing various things now that you've learned from working at True Value, which is
Mhm.
pretty cool. A lot of other people, they go to school. They pay to go to school to learn that. You're getting paid and learning that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's another perspective to look at that from. So that's pretty cool. I bet you can, you could tell me where I need to go for if I need to replace some PVC pipe in my basement or something.
Yep, aisle 20.
Yeah, not yeah. Aisle 20. All right, what tools am I gonna need? All right, you're gonna need aisle 5 and aisle 2.
Yeah.
All right. So outside of the school, outside of the sled hockey, outside of True Value, you got a lot of hobbies. You're big into weightlifting, fishing, hunting, and basketball. How do those activities help you recharge?
Man, I love the days when I don't work, I have no homework, and I'm just able to kind of either stay at school, lift, or go home, take a minute, or go over to the lake here and go fishing, or just kind of find my peace and recharge for the next day. And then I got work, or then recharge for the next day after that, and then hockey. I got a game or something like that.
Okay, so the basketball, the weightlifting, the hunting, the fishing. So when you're doing those activities, those are ways of you almost unwinding or kind of de-stressing. Would you say then?
Yeah, kind of taking it all in, because
Okay.
sure, a big part of my life is, I guess being at work or, school or hockey or whatever, but it's kind of, doing that stuff outside of all that really just helps me take it all in.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I like fishing a lot too, by the way. Uh, I caught a 5-pound largemouth bass over the summer up in the UP, and it was incredible. I'll show you
I
pictures
bet.
later of that thing.
I bet.
Oh man, that fish was awesome. Oh. So, now another thing about you, you're big on your community and giving back. You're a role model. You're an almost 17-year-old role model. A month and a half, you said, or in a month, half a month?
November 19th. So
November 19th, you'll be 17. Okay. So for someone of your caliber at 16 years of age, who's been through everything that they've been through, you are certainly a beacon for others to emulate, to strive to be like. You're a good person. The biggest thing there, you're a good person, and you think your belief system is that everyone should try to be good to others, on top of all these other accolades that you have, man. So you're a very, I'd say, a very accomplished young man. So on that note, if you were to give one piece of advice to someone facing adversity, what would you tell them?
keep your head up and then kind of just be kind to others, and it'll come back to you. There's such thing as a good karma.
Ah, I like that. The good karma. Yes. I like that a lot, man. That's good stuff. Wise words from a almost 17-year-old. I like it. That's really good, buddy. So how do you hope to inspire others in the sled hockey community or beyond, who might be dealing with similar, health challenges?
Just know, like I thought, why did that all happen? Just know it's got to happen. You might think, well, this is bogus. Sure, maybe at the time, but once you get over it, it's things are going to turn up. You can, like me, you could find hockey or a hobby or something to keep you going, and then from there you'll look back and you'll say, all right, maybe I shouldn't have, at the time I know I was so really stuck on that, but now I'm doing better and it's all as well.
Gotcha. Oh, and that actually prompted another question I had about that. So did that ever, obviously there was a time where I would imagine you were, upset a lot. You had a hard time dealing with it, but now it seems like you've really found your stride and it doesn't bother you as nearly as much as it once did.
Yeah. I mean, nothing about my leg can just stop me anymore. I got over that phase. I'm Mason with, 2 legs. I'm still on 2 legs, You could say it's still fake, but it's still a leg. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's 100%, man. 100%. So given that and giving your, that nice dose of optimism here. So looking forward, what's next for you in sled hockey? Do you have any new goals for yourself or your teams?
I got a pretty big one. Trying to compete at the national or international level with Team USA.
Wow.
Yeah, the goal is to get to a camp, tryout, whatever I can to get there.
Wow. I mean, so that's something that's already, you've already started that, lit that candle, I should say. You're working on that?
Not
Slow
really.
process.
I've been recommended by a lot of people, like coaches and whoever, but things just haven't worked out at the time. But I think I'm pretty ready.
Okay. I would, if and when, I'm going to say when, because I think you've certainly have what it takes. You certainly have the spirit and the mental toughness. So when you do go to Team USA, please let us know. We'd love to have you back on the show.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. We'd absolutely love to have you back, man. So yeah, I mean, I guess the only last thing I'd have is, you're very positive. You've got a great future, a very bright future ahead of you. So you've already mentioned your dreams and ambitions about, Team USA, but was there anything else that you also hope to aspire?
I mean, like I said before, be like my sisters and go into the business field. I'm sure my boss in the future will understand that I have to go compete internationally.
Well, I don't doubt you will be a very successful business / Team USA athlete in the future. Absolutely. So that brings us up on time. Mason, is there anything else you'd like to add, man?
I think we pretty much covered it all.
I think so too. So for the viewers and listeners, how can they follow you on social media? What are you on, and how do they find you, and keep up with the latest Mason sled hockey craze?
Sure. My mom, she puts out a lot of videos and pictures, whatever you need of me in hockey.
Perfect.
Rose Kofoid on Facebook.
Okay. We'll have that was Rose Kofoid on Facebook, right?
Yeah, she's. I don't know how Facebook works. I'm not really on Facebook, but
okay, well, that's different.
Rose Kofoid, and you should see a picture of this face somewhere on there. And...
Indeed, man. So awesome. Well, yeah, like you said it, that pretty much covers it all. Again, Mason, thank you for everything that you do. You're an inspiration to young boys and girls, everywhere alike, whether it's dealing with physical challenges, dealing with, working hard at a sport that they're passionate about, or just overall being a good person. So with that, man, thank you very much for being on the show, and hope to have you on again in the future when you're part of Team USA.
Thank you, man.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in to After the Game, brought to you by Team 2, your all-in-one sports website platform. Team 2, we're not just a platform, we're a part of your team too. Until next time, stay in the game.